Reggae interviews. Word sound power.
This is DJ 745 here for a virtual reggae interview with legendary UK DJ toaster Macka B. He's been making music for close to 40 years, celebrating all things positive in life and educating us with his social commentary lyrics on some really hard-hitting topics: knife crime, racism, politics, to name a few subjects. Greetings, Macka B. How are we doing today?
Greeting, DJ 745. Blessed love, yes I.
It's good to see you. I'd rather be seeing you face to face in person, but the times at the moment that we're in mean that we have to do these things virtually online.
Yeah, it's all good still. It's all better face to face, but you know, at least we get to do it, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, we're really excited because I feel like it's been quite a while since we've sat down and had a full reasoning. So many different things to talk about today. I want to start off by talking about Reggae Month 2021 because February is Reggae Month 20 in Jamaica. It's something that's been running now for the past 14 years. Some people will say that why do we have to have Reggae Month? Because every month should be, or every day of the year we should be playing reggae. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's like Black History Month, isn't it? You know,
Exactly.
like a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't have a Black History Month. But for some people, it's a good time to, you know, concentrate on certain things, you know. So it brings a focal point to it, you know. There's people who live it every single day of their life, you know, that's us, you know. We live reggae music, you know, we eat, sleep, and drink reggae music, you know.
Yeah.
But there's some people, you know, who they're on the periphery, you would say, you know. So we have to really show them the greatness of reggae music, and to have a selective month is always kind of a good thing, you know, to put a real focus on the thing, you know. And coming out of Jamaica, you know, the birthplace of reggae music, it's a great thing, you know. So it's really concentrated more in Jamaica, because if you ask a lot of people in England, a lot I've never even heard of it, to be honest, you know. But it's Jamaica is reggae music, and reggae music is Jamaica, you know. So they need to make more of the reggae music, you know, even like government-wise, and you know, because it's such a great asset of the country, you know. So they should make the most of it, you know, not just monetary-wise, but you know, it brings a lot of fame, it brings a lot of tourists to the country, you know. It's a cultural thing, you know. So the Reggae Month in February is a good thing, you know, and I support it to the full, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose one way you could look at it is that, you know, we have celebrations across the world for things like Mother's Day. We should be remembering our mothers and fathers every day of our living life, but then there is that day where we put an extra special thought for that person, and the same goes for Reggae Month as well.
Yeah, man, same thing. But as you say, we love reggae music, you know, 365, you know.
Of course, man, of course. Now, I know that you've spent some time in Jamaica many a times, but you've also been there for Reggae Month. But now, this year, we're not going to be having any concerts at Emancipation Park on the Wednesdays, none of the lectures or talk at UE, no dub club on things. Tell us a little bit about the things that you really love about Jamaica.
Boy, there's too much, you know. Cause even though we're born in England, we live Jamaica, you know.
Yeah.
We eat Jamaica, you know. Everything about us is Jamaica, you know. It's like Jamaicans outside of Jamaica. We love the food, you know. My favorite food is ackee, you know, Jamaica's national dish. We love the music, you know. We love the energy of the music. We love the people, the vibes of the Jamaican people, you know. It's just a spiritual, cultural vibes, you know. And some of them don't even realize the vibes they have, you know, and get distracted from outside and think there's something else, you know. But if they know the power that they really have, you know, and the whole world gravitate towards them, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a cultural thing, you know, and the reggae music, you know, and even like with the sports, Jamaica's great at sport and everything. The energy of Jamaica, we just love Jamaica.
Of course, of course. Have you got like a favorite spot in Jamaica that you like to go to chill I know that you go there obviously to see, you know, family, friends, music, perform, but is there like a place that you like to go, maybe like on a Sunday afternoon, just to chill?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a favorite place, you know. I love being amongst my family in Jamaica, you know. we love that vibes, you know, and whether I'm in Kingston, whether I'm in Maryland, because my parents come from Maryland, and my sister and my brother still lives in Maryland, that's in Hanover, and that's way up in the hills.
Right.
And that's a spiritual place, you know, that place. I love going there, you know, but I don't get to go there so often because sometimes you gotta work, you know, so you gotta be in town, you gotta be in Montego Bay, you know, one of them places. There's lots of places in Jamaica, you know, where we visit, you know, and we love to go. They're not just so much tourist places, but there's a lot of places, some beaches where people don't really know about and thing, you know, and you know, we just love the whole vibe of Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah. And some of these things that we're talking about, you've put those onto record now for a brand new single that's hot in 2021. It's literally just come out maybe around about a week or two ago. The song is called Jamaica Vibes.
Yeah, but that's primarily about the music as well of Jamaica, you know.
Yes.
Because reggae music is a phenomenon, you know, all over the world, from that little island of Jamaica, you know, a music which, you know, millions and millions of people love, you know. So I'm really calling out to the youths of Jamaica and even around the world, say, we must treasure the reggae vibes, you know, because it's such a beautiful vibe, you know, it's a rebel music, you know, it's a cultural music, it's a music of the people, it's a music which help people in them life, you know. So the reggae music, you can't make it go, because we see some musics, some great music, some great genres, and they kind of dwindling and going, you know, but reggae music, we can't make it go like that, you know. And you have to know the power of it, you know. And I want the youths them to step into it, you know, because the foundation is there. So all them have to do is put themselves into it, you know, like rock music, you know, you see the young rock stars, they just put themselves into it and put their experiences into it. So the reggae music is there, it's a big foundation. All them have to do is just step into it. The hard work has been done. You see me I say, because sometimes they'll think, oh, we have to go into hip hop and we have to do this and we have to do that. But you have to realize the power that you have, you know, and you have to realize what affects people around the world, you know. And it's not all about materialism, you know, it's about within, you know. So reggae music affects people within, you know, the spiritual thing. So we have to hold on to it, you know.
True, true. And I guess that, you know, you're working with, like, you know, a lot of younger people as well. So I know that you're working with the Royal Sounds, UK's very own, and you've got some project coming together. We've got to be together. So I guess that, you know, we give credit to people like yourself that are helping some of the younger youths rise up in the whole music genre and trying to keep it real.
Yeah, man, because the youths are the future in it. So if you check out, you're gonna see enough Macka B productions with some young artists as well, you know. Royal Sounds will be the first one. I done one with Sonite of Alright out of Cardiff as well, you know. And you're gonna be some others, Pepper G and Vital and some others, you know. So just keep a lookout for it, you know, because as I said, the youth are the future. So we want to see the youth them in the reggae music, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I personally feel that, you know, compared to maybe, you know, like going back to like maybe the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, we don't seem to have so many reggae artists emerging out of the UK. Would you agree with that or disagree with that?
No, I agree with it. One of the things is, you know, the UK, you have sort of a vibes where they try and make the youths think that you cannot be into what your parents are into. You have too much genre. You have too much genre, you know. I come out every minute. There's a new genre, you know. Jungle, then it's drum and bass, then it's something else, then it's grime, then it's something else, then it's something else, then it's something else. It's like they don't realize you can have a foundation, you know.
Yeah.
And you can just build on that foundation. But it's like a division thing, you know, and you say, no, I'm not into this, I'm not into that, and I'm into this. But me personally, I'm into music from my era. I'm into music from the 70s. I'm into music from the 60s. I can listen to music from the 50s and 40s, you know. Music, you know, it can touch you, you know, no matter what decade, you know, no matter how old it is, you know. Even like I can just listen to the drum, you know, Naya being a drum, and that's creation, that's from creation, you see me I say. So it's just like that, you know. But the youths them nowadays, it's like they think that they have to move differently, you know, and they don't realize what's been there for them, you know. So we just try to put that back into them, you know. And in the UK, I think that's one of the problems, you know. In Jamaica, a lot of the youth them, they come up in reggae and then follow the reggae, you know. Some are follow hip hop and thing, but a lot of them are follow the reggae, you know. But here, they move over into grind, they move over into this and that, and they do well in it, you know.
Yes.
But don't leave out the reggae, you know what I mean? Because once you put like a reggae music on an advert, the advert big, massive, everybody love reggae, you know, and it can be doing much more than it's doing right now, you know, if the youth then just embrace it and take over it.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that what you're kind of saying is that obviously we're having like different trends within music that emerge year after year, and it seems as though some of the younger generations seem to be gravitating towards those trends rather than actually trying to go into a career for the long haul.
Yeah, because some of the trends, they don't last, you know.
Yeah,
they don't last, you know. It's like even some dancehall, you know. Like dancehall is good, you know. It depends on the message and thing. But some, you hear it today and you don't want to hear it tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
But when you hear the reggae music, some of the biggest reggae music right now is where people are listening to is from this. And look how long that's 50 years ago and it sounds fresh. You see me I say? So it have longevity, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know, for somebody like yourself, I mean, you've been involved in music, I think, for close to 4 decades. And this year actually marks 35 years since you released your debut album for Ariwas Records.
Yeah.
That is some serious weight that you've got there, you know, because, you know, there's not many artists in the UK that I can say, you know, have been making music, performing for this length of time, yet what you're putting out now is still so relevant and it's so current.
Yeah, I just have to give thanks to the Most High Rastafari, you know, to give you the blessing, you know. And the greatest thing is to be yourself, you know. Like the things that you're hearing now, they're coming from inside of me personally, you know. Even the food thing, you know, we get big with the medical Mondays and the cucumbers and all those kind of things. That's really Macka B, you know. It's something I've been into from a long time and not trying to be like somebody else, you know. So I find people see the sincerity within it, you know, and you feel it when somebody's real, you know. So the reality me really I deal with, and we give thanks like from that time until now, and even before the Ariwa thing, you know, in the late 70s I was on sound system. Imagine on sound systems they moved to Hampton, you know, Exodus Sound, and I move up to Wasifa Sound in Birmingham and thing. But all those things, you know, I think the youths miss. That was my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
You see me I say, so that's why we know how to deal with crowd, you know. That's how we know if in those times you have to talk on the microphone all night, you know. The selector and play the tune and then he just flick it over on the version and you have to go on that, you know. Sometimes you don't even know why I got chat say, you know what I mean? But you have to do that all night and entertain the crowd, you know. So that was our apprenticeship, you know. So lyrics is a thing where we train, you know. So the things that we do now, it's coming like it's even easier.
True. Because I mean, I think that there is some truth in this, and I think I'm right in saying this, but you were actually originally a bedroom DJ, weren't you? And I think that you actually going onto a mic in a sound system, that actually was something that you didn't actually realize that there was people actually listening to you on the mic. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, I too, man. Cause when I first joined the sound, it's Exodus Sound, and I wasn't a microphone person, you know. There's somebody else on the microphone. I just used to love carry the box and just being with the sound, you know, dancing, buying records, and you know the 45s, as you know. It was a joyful thing, you know. But at home, I was a secret microphone person. You know, we used to listen like Ira intently, you know. Ira, he was a great lyricist, you know. Well before him time, Ira, you know. I used to listen Big Youth and Uri and all of them, man. At the time, I used to try and copy them, you know. And I didn't have my own lyrics at the time, but I thought I was good, you know. And as you say, one day there was a dance in a youth club, and we string up the sound, and the rest of them said, "Boy, Macka, we're gonna get something to eat." So them go get something to eat, and me did it with the sound. So I said, "All right, microphones are on, the sounds there, and I've never done it in a big hall before, so we get the microphone and put on a tune and start doing thing." Lo and behold, they hadn't gone yet. And they run back in and say, "Wait, I would have on the microphone." And they say, "We never know you can chat like that, Macka." And they say, yeah. So from then, I started to talk on the microphone, you know. But after a while, because I was well into words and things, you know, I used to love reading. I said, let me make up my own lyrics. So I made up my own lyrics and thing, and I tried it in a dance. And the people went crazy because it was a topical thing, you know. That's why I'm so much into the social lyrics, you know, the constructive lyrics, because I made up a lyrics about something that happened in the community and everybody could identify with it. And then you know, we time get mad in the place and I say, you know what? I'm never gonna talk somebody else's lyrics again, you know. It's just gonna all come from me, you know. So from then till now, I just Macka B.
Yeah, for real. I mean, some of the songs that you put out last year in 2020, ones that sort of go through my head. There was a song that you did for Article in France on the update of Gregory's Universal Tribulation, Humble We Humble. I mean, those lyrics were like, I think that my own personal experiences of speaking to you, you know, at festivals and things, is, as you said, you know, what you're singing, what you're DJing is true from the heart. And I think that a song like that really sort of like nails it.
Yeah, you're true, man. Cause you know me, that's the thing, you know. So me and you speak enough times and thing, you know. So I'm really kind of approachable. Cause some artists are not approachable, you know. They think, say, well, I'm an artist and you're just a fan. But I see everybody as people, you know. True. I'm not bigger than nobody no bigger than me, you know. We're all equal that way there, you know. Yeah. So I'm very approachable. People can come up, you know. Take a picture is no problem, you know, autograph, no problem, little reasoning is no problem, you know. So that's how we see it, you know. I jaggy with the talent, you know. Yeah. So we have to give thanks to the Most High for the blessings that He give us unto us, you know. We don't have to go on like we're better than people, you know.
Yeah, true. And I guess this is probably one of the reasons why when I actually look at, you know, your career, you've been very open to working with producers from all types of different backgrounds, whether it's a producer here in the UK. So obviously you've got a long-standing relationship with the Mad Professor, Peckings, who obviously have just released your brand new EP. But then, you know, as diverse, you know, you've worked with people like Black Scorpio, Penthouse, you've worked with producers in Europe. It seems like you're very, very open to working with producers. As long as you're both on the same mindset, you're very open.
Yeah, man, definitely, still, definitely, yeah. You have to be on the same mindset, as you say, you know. Because you have some producers, you'll come with the lyrics and they'll say, no, don't talk that Macka B, that's probably too strong, or don't do this, or don't do that. I don't like working with those kind of producers, you know. So although it's a two-way situation, you know, but if the producer himself is conscious, it's much easier, you know. So as I say, we give thanks, you know. We work with people like in the UK, Mad Professor, Peckings, you know, Stingray, enough of them, and Jamaica, Exterminator, rest in power, you know. And in Barrio here, you know, I'll rest in power too, you know. And Penthouse, as you say, and enough of them in Japan, we work with people, we work with Russ in America, you know. So we give thanks that we get the chance to travel the world and, you know, to put out the message, because music is a message and we are chains, you know. It's like a chain and we're all links in the chain. So me can't put it out by myself. Well, I can now, because digital, you can do things, but really, you need producers and you need labels and, you know, you need radio people to play the things, you need vloggers to do the interviews, you know. It's all one big chain, you know, so we give thanks that the conscious links get together, you know.
Yeah. And I think one thing that I sort of, you know, understand with your career is that, you know, you're always looking at working with people for the long run. You're not looking to do like a quick hype thing. So like, as an example now, you've worked with the Mad Professor, like we said, for 35 years. But then when we move on to this brand new EP with Peckings, Gentrification, I was actually thinking about it. It must be close to what, 8 or 9 years since that first single I recall, Never Played a 45, actually came out.
Yeah, with Peckings. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah. The actual single, yeah. And then 2015, the album came, you know. Yeah, with Peckings, and now it's 2021 and there's another one. Yeah. So that's why I say if somebody deals with me good, you know, we don't burn our bridges, you know, we can work, you know. So we give thanks, you know. Because Peckings a good producer, you know, I know the rhythm them, you know. When it comes to rhythms, he's a genius, you know, a record shop man, you know. So he come from a great stock, you know. Like your father, one of the greatest, you know, and big up Chris Peckings and Duke as well, you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, when we actually sort of look at this brand new EP, I mean, I think a good sort of starting point to talk about it is that I know it's a 7-track EP, and there are 2 new mixes of that song that I think really started that relationship with Peckings, Never Played a 45. The song still sounds so fresh even now.
Yeah, I chose to. Cause when I first did the track for Peckings, they couldn't believe it, you know, as a record shop man, you know, like him have to hold him head. So where this come from, you know, so I really love it, you know. And as I said, for the new EP, he commissioned a couple of remixes, you know. One got DJ Def is like a jungle drum and bass one, and one from Hempalix as well, you know. So those are Chris Peckings produced those, you know. So as I say, them have an energy still, you know. People hear them, and people love them same way, you know. So it's another boost, you know.
And I think that, you know, that song, it's never kind of gone away. So, you know, when you were saying earlier on today that, you know, people are still listening to songs from 40, 50 years ago, to me, Never Played a 45 is one of those songs that still gets played now. And I think that adding the remixes has just added another level of energy to that same song.
Yeah, man, for real, man. And the funny thing is, like they've been saying in the media that the vinyls are starting to sell more again, you know, because of the lockdown and everything, and people in their house and thing, you know. And vinyl selling again. So even some people who never played a 45 before, you know, them start play 45s, you know. So it's a great thing, you know.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that song itself, I know it's part of your stage routine where you'll actually bring out the 45s for people to see, and I've actually witnessed you actually bringing out these vinyls, and I look around in the crowd and I see that there's probably people in the crowd, especially the younger kids, that probably haven't actually ever seen a 45.
Yeah, I know. They wonder what it is, you know. That's why I always say, like, no, for the young ones, it's not a frisbee, you know, because they might think it's a frisbee, you know. It's a real thing, but a lot of people do know it, and them who don't know it and see it, hopefully they'll just go and investigate and go up on the internet and see what's all about, and maybe even buy a deck, you know. You can get a deck with USB and thing, you know, and try it out for themselves and maybe feel the vibe for themselves, you know.
Yeah. And I think that one of the other things that I've sort of come across in the last, I think it's only in the last few months, is that the audio cassette is actually having a bit of a comeback as well.
That me here too. I mean, never think so that would happen. The cassette, the TD keys and all them something there, yeah. But for a few of them, I forgot to draw out some of them again, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, who knows what's to come, you know, in the years to come. But yeah, I think it's a good move. And I mean, going back to this EP, we've obviously got the social commentary. I think that's something that I think we've become accustomed to Macka B. Let's talk about that title song, because I think it really touches on a very, very serious topic, gentrification.
Yeah, man. It's serious, man. It's something that we see all the while, even more so now. It's a thing which happens all over the world, you know, where you have certain neighborhoods, they're trying to move them from what they call low level to high level, you know. And it's all about the locations of these neighborhoods, you know. Invariably they're close to the city. So in the 50s, 60s, 70s, when the workers came from Caribbean and Africa and India and all these places, they put everybody there, you know, because it's close to the city, working in the factories and all those kind of things, you know. But after the fullness of time, you see the industrialization of things is changing, and jobs are changing, you know, becoming a lot more technical and things. So you have businesses moving, different kind of businesses coming to the city. So people want to live near the city to work in those businesses, and these people have more money than those people. So instead of, what I would do is fix up the neighborhood, because some of the neighborhoods they run down, you know. They never really put no money in the neighborhood because it was just for workers, you know. They have to fix it up, you know. But they could have put more money into it, and some of the people who live there could reap the benefit of new houses and new neighborhood. Because the neighborhood is all about the people. It's not the buildings, you know. It's all about the people, and they make the community, you know. And some of the communities are nice communities, you know. And then they will come in and say, well, we're going to knock down your house, but you're going to have to move from the area you're gonna have to move like 20 miles away, you know. And you have to move from your friends, you have to maybe have to move from your family, you have to move from your community, you have to have maybe a different doctor, you have to move from the food places, you know. It's a big upheaval, you know, and it's happening a lot, and the people have to move out, you know, and then the houses where them build, them put the rent up so high, so those who never move out have to move out, you know, because they just up the rent and you can't afford it no more, so they make the so-called middle class come in, you know, and it's a thing which is happening all over the world. The place becomes gentrified, you know, and the working class people are the ones who feel it, you know, the poor people are always the ones who feel it, where really the councils should really put money into the areas, you know, so everybody can full joy, you know, everybody can get a piece of the slice of the cake, as them say, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know that this is an issue that's happening across the world, but in the song itself, you talk of Brixton, and I almost feel as though I've actually sort of witnessed what you're describing myself, because I spent a time in the 1990s living in southeast London, and back then some of those areas that I lived in, nobody actually wanted to live there because of, you know, various factors like poverty, crime, and it seems as though all of a sudden what you're describing in the song has actually happened to some of those places as well.
Yeah, man, that's why I mentioned Brixton, guys. It's a big example, you know. It's obvious for people to see, you know, especially who used to go there in the 70s. As you know, when the riots in Brixton and everything. Yeah. No go place, nobody know why live at Brixton, you know. So, but you look now, it's one of the most sought after places in London, you know. Yeah, big things are going on at Brixton. So the reason I mention it is because it's obvious for people to see, but it's happening all over the world, you know. It's happening in America enough, you know. Americans talk about it enough, you know, in Harlem and the Bronx and those kind of places. The same thing is happening all in Cape Town. In South Africa, it's happening, you know. In Berlin, it's happening. You know, I was doing an interview with somebody from Denmark. He said it's happening there in Copenhagen as well. So it's a worldwide situation, you know.
Yeah. Whose thoughts was it behind the actual rhythm track? The rhythm track in question over Gentrification was the Crown Prince, Dennis Brown's Hot Like a Melting Pot. It's not a rhythm that we often tend to hear updates of.
I know. It's a rhythm I love from the longest time, you know. I love Dennis Brown, you know. Yeah, Dennis Brown was great, you know. And we have nearly all of him sang them, you know. And Chris and Nine have a kind of a relationship, you know. So, you know, you can use the rhythm and thing, you know. So when we see that now, and we say, yeah, I have to go do something to this, you know, and me I listen it, and the gentrification come, you know, and we say, yeah, this is the right thing, you know. So what better a rhythm you love from your youth, you know, and you get as a big man, get to chat on it, you know. It's like a dream come true, you know.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of rhythms, because I think, you know, Peckings, you know, they've become sort of renowned for actually their choice of rhythms, and you don't always hear the same rhythms that, you know, you and I could sort of name that we tend to hear year after year. So they always sort of like seem to dig deeper in terms of their choice of rhythms. I love the rhythm behind another song, Face to Face, where you're actually sort of like calling on people, you know, to sort of go back to the old fashioned ways of asking a girl to dance.
Yeah, old fashioned ways of asking her to dance, and the old fashioned ways of dancing as well.
True.
Some of the dances nowadays are too explicit, you know. I don't even know if they're really dancing, you know, and they can really dance, you know. But it's just a mentality of thinking, you know, you gotta act like this and you gotta act like that. And when they really got a rhythm and they can really dance good, you know. So just I said, well, in a few time, you know, face to face was the thing, you know. It was good, you know, and it's good to make the youth them realize there's something different. You see me, I say, the youth them see what they see now and think that's how it's been all the time. But when we say some things to them, man, we have a lot of youths listen to my things as well, you know. So they can just investigate and say, oh, see what Macka B talk about. And maybe when them go to a dance, they see me I say, and a lover's tune come on, and they might try it face to face and say, what? It's better than the backup and rare. You see? So it's all about the youth, them and the remembering, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that, you know, we have to talk about food when we have this reasoning today, but you know, I think that you've gained a lot more younger followers and younger fans with a lot of the work that you've done with the What Me Eat Wednesdays, the Medical Mondays, the Cucumber to the World, and I guess that, you know, I see you as almost like an ambassador for the music, but also to try and inspire those younger generations to actually sort of like, you know, delve or look into some of the things that used to happen in reggae that maybe don't happen so much now.
Yeah, man, most definitely. A lot of young fans, to be honest, you know, even little children, you know, around 4 or 5 years old, you know, they check me out and thing. And the parents, they say, boy, Macka B, through the medical Mondays and everything, they say, boy, the youths want to eat healthy and all these kind of things. And the mothers love it, you know, because sometimes it's hard to make a youth eat greens, you know. But if you make it fashionable to them and exciting and entertaining, then we do it. So sometimes that's how it works, you know. Yeah. So we give thanks that the youth them are tuning in, you know, and teenagers too, and a lot of people, you know, even my age people, them still are tuning in, even older than me are tuning in, you know. So we have to give thanks, and as you say, if I keep showing them certain kind of lyrics, you know, they will realize the things don't have to be as they are now. You can come up and see something and think, well, that's the way it is, that's the way it's gonna have to be. But if you see how the way it was before, you'll say, well, it wasn't like that before. It was nice before. You see me, I say, with the 45, you can imagine a youth of a 45, because now it's just digital and there's nothing physical. You can't even feel nothing, you know. It's just like on a computer, and you just one tune after the next and listening for 2 seconds and gone again. Yeah. Imagine you have to go in a record shop and spend your money where you have, you know, and buy all an album. And there's one track on the album, you might have buy the album for one track. And then when you get home now, you put on the album and you might even put the sleeve on your wall, you know. Because even the sleeve, the art of the sleeves was so nice, you know. And there's one album and you buy for the one track and you play the one track. But then you hear the next track and the next one and the next one. And you get to love some of the other tracks even better than the one you buy it for in the first place. But nowadays that can't happen because it's just skip, you know, even bother, you know. And even now with the album, a digital album, it's like a collection of singles really. You don't have to listen to the whole album. You can't just pick and choose which one you have to listen to. So all those kind of things, you know, it can help you. You can find out certain things where you wouldn't really necessarily find out, you know. So and them thing there, I wish the youths them could really feel that vibe, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally hear what you're saying, and I think personally over the years that's happened to me where I've gone out and bought an album by, let's say, Dennis Brown for that one particular song, and then you start going through it, and then actually you probably played the song that you bought the album for the least because there's so much other good music on there. So yeah, totally agree with that one.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Tell us, share with us a little bit about what you are planning to do now for the first few months in 2021, because, you know, we're living in this really strange time at the moment. I don't really want to sort of go into that, but for you as an artist, you know, there's things that you've not been able to do probably for 12 months as such, touring, performing to your fans and things. So, you know, what is going through your sort of mindset at the moment in terms of what you're planning to do?
Yeah, but we haven't been able to do much live thing, you know. We did a couple of live streams. So I did a live stream with the band in December, which was nice, you know. Social distance and everything, you know. That was nice. You know. In August, I did go to Germany and do a show, you know. Yeah, social distance and everything. It was like a PA, you know, sound system kind of thing. And everybody, there's benches and everything. But it worked out all right still, you know. And the people, them love it, and then give thanks that there was something, you know. But that was in August. You know, you can't really do that again right now still. But, you know, we just give thanks and do what we have to do, you know. We're making tunes. We still have to do the social media thing, you know. You just preparing for when the lockdown kind of gone, you know, and things start pick up again, you know. Because they will pick up again, you know. We're positive about that, you know, and the touring are going to come again and thing, you know. So we just do what we have to do. Make the right kind of music, you know, keep the right kind of vibes. And it's a family man, so I don't mind them amongst my family still, you know. It's a great joy if them amongst your family, you know. So you have to give thanks for those kind of things, you know. So the next few, we have some offers come up, you know, and some TV things that come up and all those kind of things. So just keep your eyes and your ears open. You might see some big things that go on, you know.
Right. Okay. And I guess that one of the things that I've sort of realized is that in the last, 11 or 12 months, a lot more people, like you said, are going out and buying vinyl. People are actually listening to a lot more music and things as well. So this new EP, I know that it's available on all digital platforms. Is there plans for a physical release as well?
How did I know you're going to ask that? I know say you're going to ask that, you know.
You know me, don't you?
Yeah, man, a vinyl, man. Yeah, we see it behind you, pure vinyl and thing, yeah. You have to ask Pecking still, but hopefully, yes, you know, because, as you say, vinyl, I pick up, you know. It's not where it was, but it's getting better all the time again, you know. And it would be natural, because Pecking's a vinyl people, you know. As I said, they're a record shop, so them eat, sleep, and drink vinyl, you know. So I think in the near future, you will see it on vinyl, yeah, definitely.
Something definitely to look forward to then.
Yes, I, most definitely, yeah.
So Macka B, I want to really give thanks for your time today, talking to us about some of the works that you've done in the last 12 months, talking about this brand new EP, Gentrification, which is available on Pecking's Records as well. A closing question for you now. Over the last 11, 12 months, a lot of people seem to be struggling with certain issues in terms of their mind, struggling to, carry on sort of, working. There's so many things, there's so many issues that we're facing, almost like problems that we've never had before. What advice would you give to those people that are watching today that might be going through some of those struggles?
Yeah, well, it's hard for a lot of people, you know. A lot of people aren't struggling at the moment. A lot of people are kind of doing good, you know. Some people like resetting their life, you know. The direction that they were going in, they had to reevaluate and see certain things. And for some, it's for the better, you know. But for some, as I say, it's challenging, you know. So for those who find it challenging, if you just kind of stay positive, you know. If you can do something about something, then do it, you know. Don't make sense worrying about something that you have no control over, you know. Eat good. You know, you have to eat good, you know, because one of the things is a health thing, you know. Try and eat good, enough fruits and vegetables, you know. Exercise, you know. You don't say you can't go exercise, but go exercise. And if you can't go, exercise inside. Because you can do whole heap of exercise inside, you know. Enough things you can get, you know. You can do weights, you can do free weights, you know, where you don't need no weights. You can buy a treadmill. You can do whole heap of things, you know. So there's no excuse, you know. Now is the time to really get fit, and when the thing finish and you come out, it's a new you. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, you know. Because remember I said, if you keep the spiritual thing up there, you know, you have to keep the spiritual thing up there, because that's the way you have to win the battle, you know, spiritual, because a lot of these battles are spiritual, you know. So keep that power, you know, to whoever force you deal with. You see what I say? Whichever supreme being you deal with, you know, just keep that force and keep that energy, you know. And it will get you through, you know. And you just give thanks for life, you know. And remember, say, no matter how bad it look, there's many others who worse off than you. Even in your bad situation, it look good to some people, your bad situation. So imagine, you know. So sometimes that make you realize the reality of the situation, you know. So I may say, just be positive, you know. Things will get better, you know, and give thanks for life, you know.
Macka B, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and also the great music as well, and the messages along the way as well. Really give thanks and appreciate your time today talking to us.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure as always. You know, I remember last time it was in Jamaica, on my sister's veranda, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And I think maybe at Germany, at Reggae Jam as well, maybe a few years ago, and also in Leicester as well. So, yeah.
And also in Leicester, yeah, man, enough times, you know. It's always a pleasure, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, and, you know, big up yourself.
Reggae interviews. Word sound power.